I like to start with the drums on these tracks just because I find that it creates that rhythm early, and that rhythm will determine everything that comes after it. So I started with just a kick that I liked on every beat, and then just a clap on every second beat, layered with a snare with a slightly longer tail. Then I layered a ride along with the kick, and that just creates a little bit of this high end that just constantly keeps the beat rolling. And then a hat that just rides on every sort of offbeat. And then just at the start and end of each section, I have this Fortnite shotgun when your shields break, and at the end, just a quick little. And then again at the very end, a drum roll that leads into the next section. And then I just like to put a long reverse crash. Just help build it up and then lead into the next bit. So another really important part is the sidechaining. How I've done sidechaining is just a volume automation clip on a bus. So I've named it sidechain, and anything that I want the kick to cut, I route to that. And I've just right click the volume slider, create automation clip, and I've just created the curve that I like. Just copy and paste it, and just it goes along with the kick. So if you hear it with something that I've sidechained, but then if I hide the sidechain, they feel more like they're just competing with each other, whereas when you have the sidechain on, that kick is a main character in the beat. So from then, I decided to build out some chords. I started with just the initial saw wave and serum. So I oscillated B on as well. Basic saw wave, unison 8, slight detune, and then the B synced as well with multi-band compressor and a hyperdimension, and just play with the sounds. Get something that just sounds like this. And if you don't have serum, Vital is free. Vital is real good. Same thing, you can just use a saw wave on there. There'll be stock plugins in FL. It's pretty simple sound. Then I built out this chord progression. What's important is leaving space. So you want to leave space. Without the space, it's going to feel too crowded, repetitive as well. And we want to create these little pockets to interject other sounds into. So I have a little top lead as well. And these little stuttery, break up your chords into little stuttery sections, help create some variance and rhythm. So I've just layered these with another serum sound. It's a little bit more of a phased sound, and just helps fill it out a little bit more. And then the final touch to really give the synth some punch is I've just put a 3x oscillator on again. I put a 3x oscillator on static and just brought it down a little bit, but when they're all layered, it just gives it some presence. And so then when you layer the drums on top, you kind of get in somewhere. All I did then was layer a pretty basic respace on the bottom. And that's just following your chords. So that doesn't need to be too crazy. It's just to help fill in that low end. Then the fun bit, that pocket that you create with your chords, you can make as many or as little as you want. You start filling them with other sounds. So I wanted to have a bass come in, and I think this is really what the character of the song is. And so this is from Splice. It's a growl, formant growl. I got it from Splice. There is some stock basses in Serum if you don't have Splice. And again, with Vital, you can find bass libraries that you can download and use them instead. But I really like this sound for this song. Really important part of making music and making tracks is a call and response. So in the first part of the bass, we get the call, and then the payoff is the response. So it's really satisfying when you hear the response after the call, and you want to leave the listener waiting for it. The anticipation is what makes it interesting. So when you play it all together. And now you have your drop, or at least your first drop. In the second section of the drop, I want to just have a bit more variation. So I found this vocal from Splice again. Good old Splice. And I duplicated it and made it unique. So if you want to do that, you can paste another version of it. Left click the symbol up here, make unique, and now you have two individual ones. And I pitched this up 1 octave, or 1200 cents, just for the second part. So it's kind of layered. I like that sound. I took that and I put a delay on it. That helps create a bit more rhythm as it's landing on every beat. The delay is here, and some OTT, a limiter, and I was gonna mute it, but I didn't end up doing that. And so then that just means when you get past into the next section, you have a new element for the listener to find, which keeps the track interesting, keeps them listening. And I also took the bass and just created a new variation of it. It starts the same, so you got that same call. So the response is still the same here, but I've just put something in the middle, just again create some variation so that this second part feels different from the first part. Alright, so the intro. I think for your intro, you want to cut things out, but you also want it to be different, because if you just cut stuff out, it's just going to be boring, which is fine. Like, if you really want to hit home the drop. I wanted to add a new element, so I've put in this conga loop. Which I think matches the vibe really well. But we've taken out the sub, and then we ramp up a automation clip here, which is attached to our chords in the sidechain. Oh, fuck! That takes out all the low frequency and goes right up, so that creates like a riser. And so when the drop hits, all of those sounds come back in, all of those frequencies, the low and mid frequencies come back in, and it feels like it hits way harder. For the sake of laziness, I've just used the same chords that I stacked without the static. But you could replace those sounds with a pad or something that contrasts the chords later on. Say, like a pad or strings or something. And then I just start bringing in the drums in the second half. Oh, fuck! And a fun little call just before the drop that creates that anticipation. Oh, fuck! Which is quite entertaining. And then just your usual rises. To go along with it. And then in the middle section, it's basically just a repetition of the intro, just without the ramping in of the sound, and I just kept the sub in there. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. If you want to see more, please let me know.